Welcome back to another video, brought to you by MyGridHub. Attitude and action over analysis. It is not surprising at all that real estate investors who are successful have a unique and positive attitude to life. They take every experience of theirs as a challenge and a test, and they consider each result to be a lesson. This kind of attitude generates a mindset that will refuse to recognize failures. They will not consider any action or experience as a wasted event. An investor who has the right attitude to life will never consider anything as a waste. It is not necessary that this kind of attitude will always create a pleasurable or positive feeling. The lessons learned could be painful for some investors. Instead of ignoring that pain, they like to experience it so that they will not repeat the same mistake again. If an experience brings about a result that was not expected, it may be instantly assumed to be a bad one. It may not present itself as an enjoyable event, but when you look back at it, the lesson that you learned may be valuable in handling the next deal that comes along. In order to be successful, an investor would have to develop an attitude that makes him or her grateful. An investor should be thankful for getting an opportunity to invest in the first place. He or she needs to appreciate the lessons that are learned from experiences gained. All problems can be viewed as challenges, and there is no reason to complain about them. They could be considered as opportunities and platforms for learning. Fear is the main cause of inaction with most people. It could be fear of the unknown and fear of committing errors. It could also be the fear of straying outside of your comfort zone. Every person has made mistakes sometime or another in their life when embarking on a new venture. The more mistakes that are made, the faster learning takes place. The biggest regret among successful real estate investors is that they should have started sooner in their lives. A common stumbling block among new real estate investors is the analysis paralysis. Instead of taking quick action, they tend to analyze up to a point where they become paralyzed. The root cause of this is fear of committing errors. They will read numerous books and attend seminars, but still do not engage in a real estate deal or buying a property. They feel that they have to wait until they have full knowledge that would make them confident enough to actually begin investing. What these people do not realize is they are not likely to reach the level of knowledge they desire in order to be fully confident to take action. This confidence will never come from a book or a seminar. It will come simply out of taking timely action. It is important to educate yourself constantly to be successful in the real estate sector in the long run, but you will have to keep on taking action while educating yourself. Investors have the opportunity to constantly learn new strategies, new distinctions, and new methods of how to invest. There will never be a point of comprehensive understanding in all features of the real estate business. Procrastinating until you gain complete confidence will bring on a state of indefinite paralysis. Investors who have less knowledge about the real estate market, but are less fearful in trying out new things and taking quick action, are likely to gain better results than those investors in pursuit of more knowledge, but a fear of taking timely action. Action, therefore, is more powerful than any kind of analysis. It's been a pleasure giving you this information, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Commitment and possibility thinking. Walmart is the largest retailer in the world. Its founder, Sam Walton, had once said, "It is usually 20 years in the making to enjoy overnight success." Nothing happens overnight. His point is that success is attained after long-term commitment. The biggest and most successful real estate investors this world has known all had commitment and stuck to their tasks until they succeeded. You have to be prepared to make a binding commitment in order to achieve your business goals. You cannot deviate from your focus, and you should not think of switching on to anything else if a particular task takes longer to complete. It will be easy to fail if you keep jumping around in your mind about being steadfast about a task. In order to succeed, you have to make a commitment, and then stick to it until you've achieved your goal. A successful real estate investor has to be a finisher in a world full of starters. Once success is achieved, then it could be reevaluated. This is usually the thinking pattern of successful people. Right now, you need to be committed and put that dedication into practice by going through this entire presentation in earnest till the end. Successful real estate investors are aware there could be many typical reasons why a particular property deal may not work out. They will strike a great deal when they find out at least one reason why the deal will eventually work out. This is the main concept behind possibility thinking. It leads to developing a habit that will constantly make you seek ways of making a deal instead of giving several reasons for why a deal may not work out. Possibility thinking deals with assessment of the hard and cold facts of a particular situation, and then crafting innovative ways of solving issues. There are some quick ways of learning how to build up possibility thinking. When you negotiate a property deal in the future, try avoiding the word no and replacing it with yes, but. It will help you think creatively and guide you to devise more ways of solving problems. You have to start thinking about new possibilities if you want to become a successful real estate investor. It's been a pleasure giving you this information, and I look forward to talking with you in our next video. Repetition and partnerships. Practice makes perfect, and repetition makes perfect practice. It could be the mother of all skills. If you want to familiarize yourself with anything and want to be good at it, you have to repeat the task over and over again. The key to excellence and confidence is repetition. Regardless of how smart you may think you are, even in the case of reading, repeating the same information could be enlightening in many ways. While repeating, your perspective will change, and you'll begin to recognize some concepts that may not have become clear to you earlier. When you repeat some strategies and skills that you've learned from this presentation a few times, they will get ensconced into your subconscious mind, and it becomes easy for you to apply them later, just like you're on autopilot, and you do not even have to think much about them. This is when investing in real estate becomes simple. You have to start managing it, even in your sleep. Successful real estate investors have to program their minds to work on autopilot, and this becomes possible when you master repetition. A strange move many real estate investors make when they start their business is by taking on a partner in their enterprise. They are probably not so confident about starting the business on their own, and they need both emotional and moral support in the shape of a business partner. They assume that their partner will add value to their business. Partnership is helpful, as long as the partners are the right kind of people for your real estate business. The partnership has to be given a reasonable time to succeed and prosper. The setting up of a business contract for a fixed period of time is essential before entering into any kind of agreement. If partners do not see eye to eye, there is a chance that they may end up at odds with each other. The end result is that your business will suffer. It is better to fix a specified period for the partnership to remain until that time. You need to seek a business partner who will add value to your business. The situation should not result in you doing most of the work and providing value, while the other partner does not pull his or her weight. The roles and responsibilities of each partner have to be defined specifically. If a business partner does not participate with a thorough understanding of his or her role in the business, you may have chosen your partner poorly. It's been a pleasure giving you this information, and I'm looking forward to talking to you in the next video. Humility. Humility is an important virtue in the mental makeup of a real estate investor. It is an important weapon in your business toolkit. History shows us a list of various famous personalities that have fallen as a result of their pride and arrogance. When you want to be humble, you need to listen more than you speak, and you need to be perceptive. It requires a person to tame his or her ego, and to teach oneself to avoid making vague assumptions. Humility helps a person from being affected by agitation or anger. It helps you to welcome positive changes and challenges, while showing you how to adjust to life when you feel everything is not working out as you had planned. Humility also helps you to learn from mistakes. It opens your mind to new and fresh ideas. There is not a single person on earth who knows everything. There is a scope for everyone to allow new ideas into their minds and their life. Those who feel that their cup of knowledge is full will fail miserably in life and in real estate investment. When you feel that the cup is partially empty, then there's room to learn innovative and new ideas that will help you to ultimately succeed. Humility will teach you that you cannot blame others for your shortfalls when you do business. You have to learn from your mistakes and absorb them, even if those mistakes have been forced by others. It helps you to grow mentally stronger as a successful real estate investor. You will start taking the responsibility for both your successes and your failures. You will have a strong character, and you will grow from your experiences. Many people mistake humility to be a sign of weakness. In fact, it is the other way around. It is a definite sign of sheer strength. You can be a confident and poised leader while being humble. There's a thin line of difference between arrogance and confidence. It is like being full of oneself against being sure of oneself. Successful real estate investors are both humble and confident. It's been a pleasure giving you this information, and I look forward to talking with you in the next video. Real Estate Investing 101. Jim Rohn once said, "Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals." You have to be sure that you are doing the right thing by investing in real estate. You need to find a powerful answer to the motivating factor of why. It will give you the essential drive for success. You have to be confident that you are ready to think just like a successful real estate investor. If you are ready, then it's time to take up real estate education. Investment in real estate covers an ocean of information. It could be difficult and intimidating to absorb all of it at the same time. The goal of this part of the presentation is to make different aspects of real estate investment look simple to you so that you can grasp the topic more easily. An analogy could be provided from the world of fishing. Trout fishermen always find it difficult to locate fish when a river is very wide. They try to separate this wide river into smaller streams. Certain parts of the river may be shallow and fast, while others may be deep and slow. When you look at a wide river, it may be intimidating and confusing to you as a trout fisherman, but when you separate that river mentally into numerous smaller streams, you find it easier to evaluate the river, and locating where the fish would be becomes much easier. The same approach will be utilized in the segmentation of real estate investment to make it easy for you to understand the different facets. It is better to begin with the simplest segmentation. The real purpose of investing in real estate is to make money. This could be summarized by breaking it down into two segments: fast cash strategies and wealth building techniques. Fast cash strategies would involve making money in the present time so that you have cash in your pockets. For most people, extra cash is always required. Wealth accumulation, or earning money for a later time, provides cash flow for the future. What do you want out of real estate? If you have sufficient liquid assets right now in your retirement account or through inheritance, you could make that money work for you in a tax-friendly way. If you need cash badly at present to pay bills, fast cash may be a smart way to proceed. In some cases, you may require a combination of both fast cash and wealth accumulation for things to work out for you nicely. With real estate investment, you can depend on cash now as well as cash later techniques. It's been a pleasure giving you this information, and I look forward to talking to you in our next video. Making fast cash. Real estate investment offers various ways of creating quick cash. This section will show you ways of accomplishing that. In a majority of cases, you would be able to create quick cash without using any of your own money or credit. The main reason for this is that you're going to put deals together or offer services for those deals. As per Plato, the beginning of knowledge is the definition of terms. Before knowing about the techniques, you have to understand everything about a particular method. An understanding of the lingo used in the real estate market will give you a clear picture of the whole business. Wholesaling and flipping. Buying and reselling. These terms describe the action of real estate trading. When you enter into a wholesale transaction, flip or buy and resell a property, you are actually inviting the owner of that property to agree to sell you their property. You are then reselling that property to a new buyer for a higher value. The original property owner will enter into a contract with you. When you resell that property to another buyer at a higher value than the one stated in the contract with the original property seller, you are making money by means of the spread or the difference in those values. The process of how to get your payment may not always be simple. It could get complicated at times. There are occasions where you may not be able to close on the property deal in a traditional manner. There may not be reselling involved, as the new buyer may want to assign the original contract to him or her directly. The new buyer may buy the property from the original owner, and you are paid an assignment fee. In the case of a short sale scenario, you will have to buy the property first from its original owner and then close it using transactional funding. This property will then have to be immediately resold to a new buyer. These above examples could be categorized as flipping or wholesaling, or buying and reselling. The only thing different would be the way that you earn your spread. Your main focus has to be on locating properties that could be contracted for a value that is considerably lower than its current market value. The property also has to be physically attractive to a buyer, so that you could expect to get a good value for it, preferably well above current market value. When you meet these couple of requirements, you can expect to make good money as a middle person for putting the deal together. It's been a pleasure giving you this information, and I look forward to talking to you in our next video. Wholesaling and flipping, and buying and reselling. Is it considered immoral or unethical if you buy a property from its original owner at a value that is much lower than its current market value? No. These types of deals could be involving a win-win transaction for both the property owner and you when the circumstances are right. Generally, flipping carries a negative connotation with it. Some people feel that it may be illegal. It is necessary to recognize that a vast majority of people in the real estate market have functioned on the retail and wholesale model for hundreds of years. It cannot be deemed as illegal when a piece of property is bought at a lower amount and resold at a higher one. If this concept was an illegal one, then the entire real estate market and various other international markets are based on an illegal retail and wholesale model. Keeping the concept of wholesaling or flipping of properties aside, if you ever have any doubt about the legality of any real estate investment aspect, you can always consult qualified attorneys. There are genuine opportunities for getting properties under contract at values much lower than the existing market values. Purchasing, improving, and reselling. This section will be slightly different than the previous one because it tells you not only about reselling a property for a higher value than you purchased it for, but also involves enhancement of the property in terms of repair or value addition. This is an important aspect of successful real estate investment. A dilapidated property or a property that will be included in foreclosure could be bought at a low value. It could then be repaired or fixed up and resold at a higher than current market value to a buyer. This type of real estate investing model has made millionaires out of many people in the past. An example could be given of a builder who buys a property lot from a developer and then builds on that very lot. He resells his newly built property. The developer is also an important part of this investing model. He or she could buy raw land and then enhance the area by adding utilities and roads. Individual lots could be sold to builders at a later date. People used to give examples in the 19th century that the two most profitable types of business were buying whiskey by the bottle and selling it by the shot, and purchasing real estate by the acre and selling it off by the lot. This model has a small drawback. It involves risk, and it needs more resources than just flipping or wholesaling. You need a lot of cash to buy properties in disrepair and then fund the repairs. Improvement of a property needs knowledge of a specialized kind. Several municipalities have rigid rules that have to be followed when you're trying to build or enhance lots. There are liabilities in the form of injuries when people are working on a property to improve it. When you enhance a particular piece of property, it is not always possible to get a good rate for it to compensate you sufficiently for your efforts and costs. Developers face such risks all the time. They have to gamble on cities when they make them grow in a certain direction, and face disappointment when there's a population shift out of those cities in some other direction before they've completed their development project. Enhancement of a property versus merely buying and reselling is a very big responsibility. It's been a pleasure providing you this information. I look forward to talking with you in our next video.